So we're doing OpenStax Statistics Chapter 7. We're on the third tab of the Excel file, which has to deal with the central limit theorem and the iPad users example. And just as a reminder, you can always access OpenStax for free. Just look in the description of this video, and you can get a copy of the Excel workbook for free. Just go to divideandconquermath.com and then go to the OpenStax Statistics section. So in a recent study, it was reported that the mean age of iPad users is 34 years. Suppose the standard deviation is 15 years. So take a sample size of n equals 100. So we have 4 questions here. So the first one is, what are the mean and standard deviation for the sample mean ages of iPad users? Okay, so this is, again, kind of that classic question, trying to get you to understand the difference between having individual data points versus now talking about the central limit theorem and working with that sampling distribution of means. So notice that in the question, it says mean and standard deviation for the sampling mean ages. So this is what's telling you, literally use the sampling distribution of means. So we have 2 things we need to keep track of. We have the data that we've been given. So I have my mean, which was 34 years. I have my standard deviation, which in this case is sigma. So that's kind of an important thing to note. So I'll expand this. So my sigma is 15 years, and then my n is 100. So it's a good thing for you to start noticing whether you've been given sigma or a sample standard deviation, which would be S. I'm just going to mention that for right now. Just try to pay attention to that because it will start to matter as we move into future chapters. So I'm always going to point this out to you, and hopefully, you kind of just appreciate where that comes from. How do I know this is sigma? Because this information is presented as this is just the truth. We're not told this is true of the population of iPad users. And then from that, we're taking samples from the population. Okay, so we have the data that we were given, and then we're going to move into our sampling distribution of means, which I have a tendency just to call the distribution of means. So I really like for you to make this pivot. And even though the mean is the same in both, force yourself to just notice that this is a different thing, and this comes from the original data that you've been given. This is a good pivot to make in your head. And your standard deviation is going to be found by taking whatever standard deviation you have divided by the square root of your n. Okay, so this is going to be then really my answer to part A. So I just put A here, I guess. So what are the mean and standard deviation for the sample mean ages of iPad users? This is it. So we're just asking us to really move into the sampling distribution of means. So then what does this distribution actually look like? So once we move into the sampling distribution of means, we are really working with the normal distribution. But we just want to make sure that we understand what this looks like. So let's draw a picture. So my sampling distribution of means, just to make it more clear, it looks like a normal distribution. It's centered at this mean, and then the values here, these are not data points as in x's, these are x bars. So these are different possible means that you could have. And you could always think back to this idea of being, so we have this population, we're taking sample sizes of n equals 100. So each time you take one of those samples, they're not going to have probably the mean of 34. It'll be somewhere around 34. And so those different means that you would find, depending on what sample of 100 you have, that's going to be what our data points are here. So you can think back to that experiment that we did in the previous workbook on the central limit theorem. Okay, so anyways, on to C. So now it says find the probability that the sample mean is more than 30 years. Okay. So this is also partially why I drew my normal distribution, because now I'm being asked to find the probability that x is greater than 30. Now, one thing I will state here, a drawback of Excel, I can't easily write an x bar here, so I wrote x is greater than 30, but it's technically going to be an x bar. But where does 30 fit into? So 30 fits in somewhere around here, so I'm trying to find this data in here, and I'll just mark that that's a 30. Okay, so I am trying to find this area. And as far as finding this area, it's the same thing as what you did before, except now when you set up your normal distribution calculation, so I'm going to have 30. I'm going to use my mean and my standard deviation from my sampling distribution of means. Once again, this always calculates to the left, so I'm going to take 1 minus that. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so there's my area. Okay, and finally, so find the 95th percentile for the sample mean age to 1 decimal place. Okay, so let's get rid of what we just drew here. And let's kind of reconfigure this, okay? So now we want to find the 95th percentile, which is really referring to, so this here is our bottom 95% of the area. That's kind of the idea of a percentile. So I've got this bottom 95%. And I want to know now what value down here does this correspond to. So to do that, you're going to use your norm.inverse function. So in this case, so I'll just write D here. So I'll call this norm.inverse. Okay, so now the probability is 0.95, but I'm still using this mean and this standard deviation. And I get that this comes out to 36.46728, and then we can round that as appropriate.